Hello, thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to delve into the Ten Commandments, okay, with a bit of a different view, okay? So, this is not your grandfather's Bewick, all right? So, welcome into Esoteric Guidance, Extraterrestrial Earth Angel. My name is Nehru, and I am all of those, okay? Perhaps you are too. So we are going to get into the Ten Commandments. Divine is guiding me. Dropped it in this morning. 10 Commandments. Okay? So, I will start it off by saying this. Okay? And then from there you can determine if you want to continue to listen or not. Okay? So, let me get something to prop this up here. Sorry about that. All right, so the 10 Commandments, okay? So we are taught the 10 Commandments. I'm going to read them to you first, and then we will get into the explanation, all right? And again, thank you so much, Collective, for being a part of the journey. New subscribers, thank you so much. Those with private accounts, thank you so much for being a part of the journey, okay? And so the 10 Commandments, the first commandment, I am the Lord your God, or I am Most High your God. You shall not have strange gods before me, or any other gods before me. Okay. Number 2, you shall not take the name of Most High your God in vain. That name is Aravat. Okay, you hear me say it all the time. Card in the stack, comes out all the time. Aravat, A-R-V-A-T. Look up Aravat and true name of God, and then they will bring you to the book of Enoch, and where they will point out, yes, Enoch called divine source Aravat. Okay, so that is that name that should not be taken in vain. It's not God, it's not even Yahweh, it's not Jehovah, it's not Abba, it's not Allah. It's Aravat. That is the name in the canonical text. That is the name above all names. Okay? I'll get off that soapbox. Remember to keep holy the Lord's day, Most High's day. What is Most High's day? Monday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Sunday. When? What is the Lord's day? We're going to get into that. Honor your father and mother. Okay? You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor or anyone else. Neighbor is someone who's not yourself. There's your person standing next to you when you're in the line checking out at Walmart. That's your neighbor at that moment. Don't bear false witness against them. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Okay? If you have one, enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, or you don't anymore, file the necessary paperwork, okay, that the system that Caesar has set up here, rendering to Caesar what belongs. So file the necessary paperwork and go find you someone who you like. But don't covet your neighbor's wife, okay, or someone else's wife. That's what someone else's is what that really means. Anybody. And you shall not covet your neighbor's goods, okay, so don't be going after keeping up with the Joneses types of things, okay. So what are these 10 commandments? What do they speak of? Okay? Divine gave me 2 things that these 10 commandments speak of. Okay? These 10 commandments speak of karmic activity or karmics, demonic activity, and witchcraft. That is what the 10 commandments represent. Collective. Karmics and witchcraft. Let's go ahead and explore each one of these individually. I am Most High your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. Whether in the Bible or other canonical text, whether in the Bible or canonical text, the Bible is not a canonical text. Okay? The other books they call apocryphal texts, which they use the word apocryphal to try to show you that they are not necessary or included. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe divine wastes time? So why would divine say something, release something to their prophetess, apostles, disciples, ascended masters, scribes, why would divine send messages to them but not want them to share that information with you? Why would they have them write these texts, these scrolls, these books, and not want to share that? You think divine is just up there just like, oh, what the hell? Just give them this information. Write that down. Don't share it, but just write it down. Of course not. Okay? So, have no other God before me. Okay? So, divine expects you to make them number one. Number one. Okay? Worshipping of any other deity is a no. You do not worship ascended masters. You do not worship the Council of Light. You do not worship the Sanhedrin Council. You do not worship Archangel Michael. You do not worship Saint Mary. You do not worship any of them. You are to worship the Lord thy God. Anything else is witchcraft. Worshipping your neighbor's wife is witchcraft. Coveting your neighbor's job, their occupation, their business. Again, it doesn't have to be a neighbor. It could be the business owner of the company that you work for. It could be the business owner who's jealous of you, the employee. Whatever that is, do not covet it. Do not be jealous of it. Do not be wanting of it. That is theirs. He or she is theirs. Witchcraft and karmic activity is what the Ten Commandments are all about. I wonder if there's a minister on Sunday that will say that. Sunday's tomorrow. 9:21. I wonder there's a threes. 9:21. I wonder if there's a minister that will stand up in a place that's called a church or religious organization and say tomorrow the Ten Commandments are about karmics and witchcraft. So divine source is number one. Erevat is number one. You are not to worship Jesus. You are even not to worship Yeshua. You are not to worship Issa. I set that card out today. Okay? Even Jesus, as y'all call him, that being is not the one to be worshipped. Okay? Divine source is. And Jesus is not divine source. They are the spirit of divine source. Their only begotten Son, as the religious book tells you, that is the spirit of divine. That is the Christ of divine source. But don't worship Jesus. They are an ascended master. You do not worship ascended masters. Thou shalt have no other God before Erevat, Lord of the sheep, Lord of the shepherd, the Most High, the creator of the universe, the omnipresent one. Yeshua is not omnipresent. Do you know that? Jesus is not omnipresent. Do you know that? You shall not take the name of Most High your God in vain. Again, that's their name. Don't take it in vain. Okay? And that means in any way. So let me say, God gave me this word, and that's one of, if not the number one today in religious sects, sects, okay, that they say, God gave me a dream about you. The Lord told me to tell you. Using the Lord's name in vain. Do I need to name the ministers? Do I need to name them? Joyce Meyer, do I need to name them? Kenneth Copeland, do I need to name them? T.D. Jakes, do I need to name them? Jim Jones, do I need to name them? Creflo, do I need to name them? They all take the Lord's name in vain. And they use it in vain because they stand up there and tell you the Lord told you to give them $1,000, give me $500, give me this, give me that. They tell you that. They are using divine source's name, even though they're not using the truth. They are using their energy in vain. They are lying to you. All of those individuals that I just named sure as hell is. Okay? 10 Commandments about karmics and witchcraft. Number 3, remember to keep holy the Lord's day. So what is the Lord's day? Every day. every day. Okay? So remember to keep the Lord's day. Every day, you should wake up physically and be mindful that this is a day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. It's a choice. That's not talking about Sunday. Sunday isn't even the Sabbath. Saturday is. Again, man changed all of that. So man went from the Sabbath to having service on the first day of the week instead of the seventh day of the week. Man added January and February to the calendar in 153 BCE. Originally, it was March as the first day of the month or first month of the year, and there were only 10 months. What else has man lied to you about? Damn near all of it. Damn near all of it. Yes, there was a being that came here that physically lived 33 years. Yes, there was. Okay? That part they got right. They don't tell you the whole story in the Bible, such as him speaking and healing from infancy. That's why the world could not contain a book large enough for the miracles that they did, because in 33 years, they were healing from the time they popped out of the vagina or uterus. From the time they popped out. They don't want you to know that. Birthed speaking as I speak to you. They don't want you to know that. That's why that is not in that Bible. Again, go to what they call the apocryphal text and look at the infancy of Jesus. There are 2 books. Okay? His earthly overseer, Joseph, he wasn't his father. Okay? Virginary. Okay? Consummated marriage had not happened between Joseph and Mary. Okay? But that being who was chosen to walk with Mary and oversee the upbringing of this divine being wrote 2 books about their infancy and the miracles that they did and their adolescent years. Why is that not spoken in the church on this Sabbath? This is the Sabbath service. Welcome. Why is that not spoken in the church? Again, I ask you, what else are they lying to you about? Thank you, Issa. What else are they lying to you about? Number 4, honor your father and mother, and the rest of that I think in the Bible, right? Says, honor your father and mother that your days may be long upon this earth. Okay? Now, what does it mean to honor your mother and father? Okay. The religious organizations, ministers, would lead you to believe that that means that confirmation, return to sender, that you are to do as they say no matter what. That's what that is. That's a karmic thing. Honor your mother and father that your days may be long upon this earth. Let me ask you a question. Yeshua lived here on the physical earth for 33 years. Do you think he honored Joseph, Mary? Joseph wasn't his father, but do you think he honored his parents? Of course. Okay, his guardian, Joseph as a guardian. Do you think he honored them? And was his days long upon this earth? I'm opening up a Pandora's box. I'm opening up something. So if his days were not long upon this earth and he is the divine being in the flesh, Eravat, what does this mean? It has nothing to do with doing what your parents tell you to do. Obedience is important while you're under their authority, but that is not what this is talking about. Okay? This right here is meant to keep you tied to individuals so that you feel bad if you leave them, cuss them out, kick their ass, whatever it is. And yeah, I beat Judy's ass right now today. I kick Kevin's ass right now today. Those are the two false mother and father. That's the false mother and father who raised me, took me from my legal parents, had me under that spell for 48 years. You think I honor and respect them? And let me ask you a question. Do you think Divine is going to curse me, hurt me, harm me because I cussed them motherfuckers out and I exposed them on these channels? Do you think so? Honoring your mother and your father in the physical has nothing to do with what truly that means. It's meant to keep you locked down. Okay? You shall not kill. Okay? Because you will need to walk away from karmic parents. You earth angels, light workers, starseeds, we are birthed into karmic families to heal them. You think Divine would want you to stay with that karmic? What if I would have stayed around Kevin, hung around Kevin, after he took my first wife when I was in the military and our daughter? Okay? After the spell work that caused dialysis, what if I didn't go to court in 2014 and was willing to testify against him? He would still be free today. What if I didn't do that because honor your mother and father? What if I didn't do that? There would be a pedophile and a polygamist still running around here, a warlock, a Freemason still running around here in the 3D, looking at you like you are a tasty piece of meat and looking to deceive you. What if I didn't do that? Thou shalt not kill. Okay? So what does this mean? It says you shall not kill in this text. You shall not kill. So what does that mean? Taking a life without just cause. That's what that means. Okay, I saw a news clip today about a man who murdered an assistant principal who was his wife and then killed himself. Somewhere in America. A brown couple. Killed her mother or his mother, I don't know which mother it was, and himself. So, this is speaking to karmic activity that kills without just cause. The government, Earth Angel, does not want you to speak your truth. They may be coming around at this point, but for eons, they did not want you to speak. That's why they have secret cults and all of these things that know your birth chart, follow you, watch births every year. They know what days to watch out for. They know what months to watch out for. They know all of that. Okay? So thou shalt not kill. They seek to stop you. Okay? And they have no just cause. That's what that speaks to. Don't walk around just killing people for no reason. I don't know why I just got Saddam Hussein. Yeah, walk around just killing people for no reason. Hitler. Just for no reason. Whoever assassinated Charlie Kirk, I don't know their name. Whoever that is, just why? 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 Because they were speaking truth. And whatever Charlie was speaking bothered that demon inside whoever that being is. Enough to where they chose to take Charlie's physical life. So, killing without just cause is what that speaks to. Karmic activity. Okay? Despite all that I've been through, I've never murdered anyone. Well, not this lifetime. Okay? I have not. Again, they seek to silence the truth speakers. The liars are not the ones who are killed, murdered. No one calls hitman.com to kill a liar. No one hires a hitman to kill a liar. They hire hitmen and women to kill truth speakers. Thou shalt not kill. That's what that means. You shall not commit adultery. So, what does that mean? Sacral protection. Protect your sacral energy. That is your creativity. That is your reproductive system. That is all of that. Okay? Creativity, reproduction. It goes hand in hand. Create new life. Create art, artistry, music, paintings, whatever it is. Create this. Okay? Artistry, whatever it is. Okay? So thou shalt not commit adultery. Don't go around fucking on everybody. Just because you want to, because it messes up your energy. Okay? It messes up your energy, and you are an energetic being. Science knows that. Science knows that. You are frequencies. Science knows that. Earthly science knows that. Thou shalt not steal. Steal anything. Steal somebody's house, husband, wife, kids, car, occupation, signature, inheritance, energy. Do not steal anything from anyone. What has someone stolen from you, or what have you stolen from someone? I'm talking about the 10 Commandments that are all about karmic activity and witchcraft. Thou shalt not steal. My right eye is like... Heightened. Steal people, steal things, steal gifts. And when I say gifts, I mean spiritual gifts. Okay? You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Again, don't lie. Okay? Don't lie. That's what that means. Don't lie. Period, point blank. Lying is witchcraft. I continue to say it. Lying is witchcraft. You asked me, did you take that pen from the office yesterday? No. I did, but no. Or why? Why you asking? Even those little white lies, as Forrest Gump called them, is a lie. Okay? Again, I'm not saying I've never done it. I'm saying I definitely don't do it today. And one lie or misconception was that if someone asked me when I was an accountant if I had a college degree, it was rare that someone even asked that question. It may have happened 3 times in 13 years. But if they asked me, I would say yes. When in fact I didn't, because I had to stop going to school because I needed dialysis because of the witchcraft from that warlock that's sitting in prison in Saginaw, Michigan. So I didn't finish the degree because I ended up doing 4.5 years of dialysis. Okay? And that's a confession that I've made many, many times. I've made it to people, face to face. I've made that confession to people who were under the impression probably that I did have a degree. Because of the wisdom, knowledge, whatever, I don't know, confidence, whatever it was. But I let them know that. Okay? You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or husband. Okay? It's interesting that in the religious book it says wife. Like women can't covet thy neighbor's husband. I just got a bump on my... Or is the female being, the female gender, not susceptible to jealousy? Come on. Why does it say thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife and not thy neighbor's spouse? Man changed words in that book to make it more acceptable. Because if you put thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's husband or wife, what? Women, no. Women aren't. Witchcraft and karmic activity. What the 10 Commandments are all about. Lastly, number 10, you shall not covet your neighbor's goods, whatever it is. Again, keeping up with the Joneses or whoever their neighbors, whatever your neighbor's last name is, who you keep gawking at, wishing you had their car, wishing you had their money, spouse, kids, lifestyle, job, occupation, whatever it is. But you have Akashic records that are willing to bless you with the gifts and things that you've been promised this lifetime. If you are too busy coveting someone else's goods, again, that could be physical. Looking at the neighbor's wife's ass, the husband's ass, the neighbor's wife's titties, whatever it is, covet anything. Anything. Their children gets better grades than your kids, so spend more time with your kids and teach them and help them learn. Instead of being jealous of the neighbor who has smarter kids than yours. Logic Sabbath Saturday. Logic Sabbath Saturday. Okay? So the 10 Commandments. Is there anything else, Divine, that you would like for me to share in regards to this? No, I think that's it. All right? So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, my name is Nehru. This is Esoteric Guidance, Extraterrestrial Earth Angel. As always, be encouraged, and again, welcome to all of our new subscribers. I appreciate you taking a chance, taking a risk, and clicking subscribe to be a part of this collective. Thank you so much, and as always, be encouraged.